stacking Lego, get your clicks. Get up and get down, it's your Debo Bricks. Hey there, Debo here, taking a look at Soundwave today, inserting as many of the sound bites from the soundbrick as I can, peppered throughout here. Quick little transformation just to see how they stand up together, next to Prime here, of course. Yeah, and there we go. One thing you'll note is that throughout the video, the transformation parts in the legs have a low friction pin in there, and they keep wanting to bend forward, so it makes them tough to stand in place. But that being said, still overall a pretty nice transformer for Lego. And there is a right way and a wrong way to put in each of the cassettes. We'll take a look at both of those throughout this video. Pretty posable. Transformation similar to the original G1. And this gun here, you're gonna see that happen a lot. It likes to turn. There's not enough friction on the wrist there, so with that weight, it just keeps rolling on over. And after a while, I just kind of live with it. A little bit shorter than Prime. Not quite as stable as Prime. But I think it's better able to straddle the line between a modern interpretation of and the classic G1 style of the Transformer. So he comes with a couple of pretty nice accessories here. Of course, you got your two cassettes, Laserbeak and Ravage. Both, of course, are referenced in the sound clips from the sound brick there. Pretty nice action on the eject of the cassette door. Fingers are posable, although they're few in number, but that's okay. He's a robot, right? Also, of course, pretty much every adult-themed Lego set nowadays is going to have a little placard that comes with it. So Star Wars started it. And it's kind of continued through. Of course, all the Transformers releases have had something like this. But we have the mini size of a Soundwave there with interchangeable cassettes. So you can put one with Ravage, one with Laserbeak, whichever you prefer. I like the way the Laserbeak one looks with the red that stands out inside the door. It's just, it's more striking that way. But, Ravage if you want to stay incognito. The transformations on these are pretty fantastic. I really like the way these cassettes came through. I almost think they're better than some of the ones that Hasbro's been doing. But we'll actually take a look at that in a minute and compare the two. The booster rocket packs on the back, easily removable from pretty much where they would be in the toy, the holes for the cassettes. The wings fold in pretty smoothly there. Easy transformation, legs up, wings in, head up, and you got yourself. They're not too deep. They're probably 5 plates thick, just so that they can be about 2 bricks wide for the cassette bay, so keep that in mind if you want to try to come up with your own cassette for Soundwave. I'm going to try to work on some. We'll take a look at a couple of choices in a minute. But there's a right way and a wrong way. So the right way for Laserbeak is placing him inside with the beak pointing up. That's where the pin issues in the legs are, and you have to keep pushing them back out for it to be stable, which is a pain and the whatnot. But there's no real good solution right now because the way it's set up with a hinge plate, you can't get a good friction pin for that. I'll try to insert a bar and see if that helps any. There's a little chamber in the back, would be representative of the battery compartment on the original toy, which I don't have anymore. But we'll take a look at a modern incarnation here and just see how they look side by side. Transformation on it is really pretty classic, pretty straightforward, pretty easy, except for when you get to the legs. It can be a little tricky when you have that plate to fold. Clips in back there, and presto changeo. Move the hands down. Yeah, it's not as clean as it is on even the original toy. And there you go. So Ravage here is a butterfly design, which is what they've done for later versions of Ravage. We'll take a look at a G1 cassette here at the end and get a closer idea as to how sleek the original Ravage was. Unfortunately, I still don't have mine. I got rid of them with my original Soundwave that I had when I was a kid. I got rid of it a few years back, and I'm still upset. So here's what I'm talking about with the butterfly, where it just kind of folds out like that. And then the legs are going to kind of tuck in here on the top and on the bottom, until you get a kind of a rectangular shaped object that kind of could be a cassette if a stretch of one's imagination, or micro cassette more accurately, although it's the point is kind of moot. But so you have the right way to put Ravage in, which has got the nice oval 1x2 tile there on top. The wrong way, of course, is with that down, it won't fit in there stably, mostly because of the way the legs transform and fold in. It's best if you grip them from the other side. But yeah, it's a lot of work. So we have Soundwave's weapons here, which originally would convert into what would look like two AA batteries that would fit in the battery compartment in the transformation and be totally hidden from view. It's one of the great things about the original Soundwave. Which was a toy before Transformers that was incorporated into it, and there you could find a ton of videos about the history of Transformers here on YouTube. So go and check some of those out. But Lego kind of made a compromise. They've got it so you can stick them on the back, which is nice. And I didn't show it in this video, but the little harpoon gray bit that's sticking out of the one that I'm using as an antenna right now, there's a clip for it back there on that battery compartment, quote-unquote, part. It's a little black clip, and you set it in there, but it just doesn't sit right with me there, so I like it as the antenna. Anyway, here are the other Transformers. They are not Studio Series. This is just before Studio Series. I think this is Legacy Generation Select something. Anyway, it's a pretty nice, and I'm very happy with this Soundwave. Is to keeping close with the G1, but still being ultra posable and having your modern points of articulation. But this is another Butterfly Ravage, and then we got Rumble here, and Frenzy, or Frenzy and Rumble. Actually, in the cartoon, one is called Frenzy and the other is called Rumble. And then when they are issued as toys, it's actually the reverse. It was very confusing as a kid. So some people call the blue guy Frenzy, some call him Rumble. It goes back and forth. Rat Bat here is actually my favorite cassette. So I think the one that I'm going to try to make out of Lego to fit in there would be my own Rat Bat, although without his backpack askew. So here is Ram Horn, recent reissue, painted up to look more in line with the cartoon. But we're going to take a look at him because he's the closest thing to what I have that would be, akin to the original Ravage. So it's a slim design, stayed sleek, pretty much the same transformation, but imagine a cheetah instead. Longer legs, of course, but yeah. So that was kind of the look. My Ravage was so transformed that the joints and legs were very loose, and he had great difficulty standing on his own. But they often had accessories that you could plug into the side there for weapons. Easy to get lost, and I'm surprised as an adult I can still keep track of these. But yeah, he looks pretty nice even still today. Like, I think he's especially the first generation of G1 Transformers are really kind of timeless because they came from a totally different place. The Autobots came from Takara's own Diaclone, which was licensed out to Hasbro, and then like the Mr. Micro cassette guy there that you saw, Soundwave, was a totally different thing himself, as was Megatron and so many other eclectic size warping Transformers. So check it out. It's a pretty good set.